Hi, Rosalind Schechter fan. How are you doing? Hi, Baragon Productions. Oh. Cyclone or just storm? A little bit. Give me a second, guys. Oh. What is going on? I just got into YouTube and it's already acting up. Oh. So not happy. Oh well. Oh well, I make mistakes. I'm human. So sue me. No, don't sue me. That's not what I wanted. Guys, it is not California Condor. It is Andean Flamingo. I thought I fixed that. Let's see. Give me a second. Have you flown on an airplane in the past year? Yes or no? Very simple. Oh. Yeah, it's Andean flamingo, not condor. I thought I had it changed. The other thing I need to do is okay. I think I have everything ready. And we're only at 97% battery, so we'll see. Oh, not good. So, y'all need to know that the new story has finally been posted to YouTube on the Spooky channel. So that is a good thing because I had issues with it. Last night or yesterday I was up at like 6 or 7. No, it was definitely more like 5:30ish. And I couldn't get back to sleep, so I just got up. But I had tried editing and it just wasn't happening. Like, I got through part of it and I couldn't concentrate anymore, so I took a nap. Didn't get anything else done, but I got that done. And can we talk about my hair? That's what I get for leaning up against the wall. Ugh. Can we also get into the topic? This is the Natureverse 4.7. I am your host, the Nature Guy X46. I love all things found in nature, from the tiniest of animals to the tallest trees on the earth. And today we are talking about the Andean flamingo. That sounds really good, Baragon Productions. Not gonna lie. And before anybody comments on it, here are the scientific names. Yes, there are 2 of them. I don't know why. It's okay. So, this species lives only in South America, and they live, like their name suggests, up in the Andes, and they can be found in Argentina, Bolivia, Chile, and Peru. They are a gregarious bird, meaning that they nest in huge flocks. They are the only flamingos that are native to the Andes. And they build their nest in saline wetlands, meaning that the wetlands have a big salt concentration. So the water that's there sits in these salts. I don't know if they're as pink as the one in the pictures. in the thumbnail. Let me see. They can be whitish or pinkish, but some of these flamingos are, I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty white. But they are definitely pinkish. Some of them are pink in different areas. Yeah, the wings can be a brighter shade depending upon the bird, but they are definitely a little bit lighter pink. Let's see if I can get Wikipedia, because then I think I can show you a picture. Now, these birds are not from the Andes. These are actually from a place in England. They do get their colors. They do get their colors from the foods that they eat. You're absolutely correct. But as you can see, this guy, once it focuses, there's not a lot of pink on him. He is mostly white with a little bit of pink thrown in. So yeah. So they build their nests, like I said, in saline wetlands. They do not Sam, I have no idea. No, it's not blood. That's the coloration. These guys breed in colonies. They will feed in different waters. So these saline habitats that they live in are not where they feed. At adult height, they reach around 3.6 feet or 100 centimeters. And there are other flamingos that live in South America, but these are the largest. I am not an ornithologist. I am a naturalist. They can be found in high altitude wetlands, and they will migrate to lower wetlands in the winter. They are monogamous, and couples may stay together for many, many years. They can reach somewhere between 20 to 50 years of age in the wild, and in captivity, which means they're under human care, they can reach 50 years. Now, they do have a gland in their nose that allows them to filter out excess salt. What country is this? What do you mean? How to basic Roblox? Flamingos actually get the colors that you see in their plumage from what they eat. And a lot of what they eat are smaller life forms to algae. And they will take the pigments in their food and add it to their own. They start off in some species as a grayish looking bird, And eventually that grayish will give way to other colors. But you're right, depending upon the species, it might be white, it might be gray. So with this gland in their nose, they can filter out that salt and get rid of it. However, these guys feed only on fresh water or drink only fresh water. They may be a little lighter than the other flamingos. Couples lay one egg, which is incubated for 28 days, and then they hatch. These guys feed on algae and other microorganisms. Let's see if yeah, they don't have any pictures of baby condor or baby flamingos. I don't know why I keep saying condors. So now let's move into let's move into their status. So they are considered to be vulnerable now, depending upon what endangered species you look at or endangered species list that you look at. They're either vulnerable or they're endangered. Their population forecast is for more decreases in population. And there is thought to be around 39,000 individuals. Not a good thing, but maybe they'll get somewhere. There are a few zoos that house these animals, and the only zoos that I could come up with that actually house these flamingos is one in Germany and one in the United Kingdom. Of course, depending upon the age of the record that I looked at, there could be more or could be less. These animals are in trouble due to erosion of nesting sites, the loss of habitat, as well as changes in water level. At one point, eggs were actually collected for food. As many as thousands were taken annually. Now, there is mining occurring in the Andes, and these animals are affected by that. Gold, salt, silica, and lithium are all taken from the Andes, and that can cause pollution in the waters that they nest in. And also, perhaps, in the areas that they feed in. There is very low level hunting for food, feathers, oil, and that hunting mainly targets immature birds and juveniles. L.I. honked or hooked. I have no idea what that is. Hold on. Because I don't know what it is, but I'm telling you now. No, I don't. No, you don't get to talk to people like that. So that that's your warning, L.I. Hooked. So these animals are breeding in preserves in Chile, Bolivia, Argentina, and Peru. Conservation programs are also focusing on educating people about the animals as well. Hi. I do like birds. I like all animals. Um, they are also protecting nesting sites as well as trying to locate additional populations that may be out there. That is all I have on the um Andean flamingo. Cool, very cool. Um, how is everybody doing? If you haven't done it yet, guys, make sure you give the live a like. Also, I will have shorts up today. I will have all of the other stuff that you love will be up. Planet Zoo? I have not played in a while because my system needs to be upgraded. So this is what I get for not combing my hair before I go live. And honestly, I usually do, but I noticed that it was 12:58 and I was on my computer and I didn't have time to comb my hair. So I apologize for my hair. Yeah, I know, alfalfa. Only in my case, it is not like just one strand that's up. And I don't naturally have a colic. This is just a bad hair day. If you have questions or comments, you can put those out there. Tonight's live is supposed to be the lesser flamingo. So we're going to stick with two different flamingo species. That will be at 7 o'clock tonight. I am going to put out the engagement activities or the engagement stuff. That's what I'm doing next on all the channels. Yep, lesser flamingo. That'll be out right after live. I don't give out my city. I'm from the greater Chicago area. Sweet Baragon Productions. I have my orangutans in with the gibbons, I think. Very cool. How is India this morning? Or this evening? Or very early this morning? What was I? Hey, carry me through. We were talking about maybe moving alive. Was it the 7 o'clock lives? Maybe moving them an hour later? Yeah, I don't have any modded animals. Okay. Then we will wait and see. Thank you everybody for the likes. Wow. Yeah, this is the earliest I'm willing to go live. I may go live earlier, but it's usually like a surprise thing. Well, for us, it's later. I think for I think for I think for my UK people, that's early. I think that's like 11 or 1 a.m. Sweet. Channel stuff. I'm trying to think if I have anything. I'll give you an update. We have 1,673 subscribers. That is 98 in the last 28 days. Thank you. We have 41.1 thousand views, and we're up to 270.9 watch time hours. And we have 2,721 public watch hours and 23,000 public short views. Yeah, like Ross Lynch, actor fan, said, I don't give out my age. You need to look at the pinned comments. I did get the new story for the Spooky channel up. Guys, I want your opinion. I cannot put out, I don't think, the bloody, messed up, potentially gory stories on YouTube. I don't think. Would you guys buy the stories? Because I think I could get them put into like a PDF file. Okay. No, that's what I want. That is what I want. I would rather you be honest with me than not. Because you're a pirate. I'm not, I am, hear me out on this. I am not asking you to buy them. I'm not asking you to buy them. I'm asking if the information was put out there, would you buy them? Which is sounding really weird. But in the event that the channel grows more, I might use the finished stories as potentially a perk for membership. Hi, transport time. So don't be surprised if that happens. Don't be surprised if that happens, if the story that you get isn't different than what gets posted on YouTube. I had to change the story to get it on YouTube. Not that YouTube said I had to. It just was not good. It was way too bloody. Where had you been, transport time? Yeah, I don't fly. The whole heights thing. I'm trying to think what else. I've been on a small engine plane. Oh, very cool. Have Yeah, I've been on trains. I've been on steam trains and passenger trains or passenger trains. I feel like a train is a little bit better than a bus. I will leave the flying to everybody else. Yeah, um I had when I was engaged, a friend of mine did the pictures for us. Um well, Ross Lynch is in the UK and he went to South Africa. I believe that's what he said. Oh, that would be awesome. Um I've only been to places that somebody else could drive to or the train. I don't enjoy being up in the air. I will say though that sometimes the fear is more of the unknown than it is anything else. Yeah, chimps. I don't know how I feel about meeting wild chimps. I'd be okay with gorillas. But chimps, no. I'm happy to visit chimps in zoos. No, even then, no. I mean, just just look at that. That alone is scary enough. And you guys don't even get the full effect. Like, trust me, that face, that is not a face you want looking at you. Yeah, I know. But that is not a face that you want looking at you at any time of the night. Those eyes are like orange eyes, and it just, I don't know. Oh no, I'm not. I will use them in Planet Zoo. I'm not. I'm not that bad. But yeah. I no, because I've never seen the movie Nope. Oh, no, no, definitely not then. No, I have no desire. No desire at all. You know, that is the problem right there. They are really cute as their babies, but then they grow up. I've got to the point that if I'm like going through Facebook or I'm going through Instagram or even YouTube and I see baby chimps, and if they're not in a regular zoo, I skip that video entirely. I won't even watch it. Or if it's in like a recognized animal sanctuary, no. I won't even do like, because I don't want to put money. Yep. And the same is true for any wild animal. There isn't one wild animal that should, I say this, listen to me. Um Animals should not be taken out of the wild. If you're going to get a pet, it should be an animal that was not wild caught. But at the same time, some animals just shouldn't be pets. I just, there's a point where when is that animal, when should an animal not be a pet? For the longest time, the animals that I had, I didn't consider them pets. They were here to educate people. But I had to keep them at my house. Chimps, any primate, primates should not be pets. Period. No pocket monkeys, no marmosets, no tamarins. Unless you're unless you are a person that has a squirrel monkey, maybe for a assistant animal, you should not be having monkeys in your house. Or an ape. They're not pets. Or they shouldn't be pets. Same with big cats. Big cats should not be pets. I mean, there are people who are zookeepers. Now Ross Lynch is getting controversial. Hold on. It's okay. I'm going to talk about it. So he was, if you don't know the story, Hammurabi was a male lowland gorilla. A boy had fallen into his enclosure. The gorilla grabbed the boy and dragged him. His His injuries, they were with him. They considered using sedatives on the animal, but they deemed they believed that the sedative would have taken too long to take effect. They didn't know if Hammurabi would hurt the kid beyond what he already was. Yeah. The boy, the decision was made to shoot. The decision was made to unalive Hammurabi. And the boy did sustain injury. They were non-life-threatening injuries. The zoo did make changes to the enclosure. They raised the height of the barrier and they added netting. Ross Lynch, actor fan, I can't comment on that because I don't know. Now, we've seen other gorillas. There's been a series of kids who fell into situations. I'm looking at two pictures and the kid is in the water. Probably not the best place for a kid to be is in the moat. Now, this says that the kid was 4 years old. So I don't know if he was 3 or 4. My problem with this situation is, one, if a kid, I'm not going to talk bad about the parents or the zoo, because this event happened and it's sad for the zoo and sad for the family. I will say this: if little kids cannot see the exhibit then the kid needs to be in the parents' hands, holding them up. Kids that climb on barriers, it's dangerous. Um, so in 1986, a 5-year-old boy fell into an enclosure at the Jersey Zoo. A silverback approached the kid. The kid was bleeding and not moving. Jumbo sat down by him and kept the other gorillas away. The boy started crying, and his cries scared the gorilla away, and that gave keepers a chance to get the boy. I'm not gonna discuss incidences where other animals, other issues. At Brookfield Zoo in 1996, a boy fell into an exhibit at that zoo. The female gorilla picked him up, cradled him, and carried him to the door that the keepers would come in and out. She allowed the keepers to take the boy, and they began medical treatments. And then, of course, we know there was in another zoo, there was an incident. The parent was holding the kid, and somehow the kid ended up falling. I'm not going to talk about what animals they were. The child was safe. They were able to get the child, and which was good. My personal feelings on the situation are, don't hang your kids over the cages. If you're just holding your child, nothing's going to happen. Animals shouldn't have to be unalive because human error. That's my take on it. Now, accidents happen. People are going to be stupid. That's never going to change. Parents can't always keep their eyes on their kids. Right. Exactly. Adults have done it too. It's not just the kids, it's adults. But I think yeah, it's sad. Because most of the, I would say, well, and it's not just that they dive into the water, but adults will enter the exhibits. I don't know why they do it, but they do it. Agreed. And the zoos, realistically, people should be smart enough to know that there's a barrier. Don't put your kids up there. Maybe they need to put hot wires on the outside of their enclosures too. They do. Yeah. There was a lady, I believe, that entered a tiger exhibit. She wanted to pet the tigers. I want to say she came out alive. Yeah. Or people, I've seen people in our national parks who think, oh, these animals are they're tame. They're not going to do anything, and they get too close and the animal charges, and sometimes people end up seriously hurt. Guys, bottom line is this: just because an animal is in a zoo doesn't change the fact that they're wild animals. They I had a friend I had a friend I had a friend whose mother and son, my friend also, went to California with us. We stopped at a tourist attraction, a national monument, on the way to California. We were in Nebraska. She decided that even though there were signs up to stay on the trail, she decided not to. There were signs up that said there are rattlesnakes in the area. Do not leave the trail. Now, she didn't get bit. That was in the 1980s. And she took a chance. Yeah, there is a Godzilla and several other kaiju on my desk or my bookshelf. Yes. The point is, animals are wild, even in zoos. Like, they may be bred in captivity, but bottom line, they haven't been in zoos long enough for them to be domesticated. Domestication doesn't happen like that. Your pet parrot has not been in captivity long enough to be domesticated. They are wild animals being kept as pets. Zookeepers are not safe either. I mean, sometimes zookeepers end up getting hurt. But zookeepers have a different... Things are different for zookeepers because they have a relationship with the animals. Also, they try to play it safe as much as possible. But again, accidents happen. Things happen that can alter situations. Stuff happens. And you hope that it never happens. But sometimes life is messy. If you work with an animal long enough, chances are you're going to get hurt. Now, it may never happen. I kept the animals that I had for close to 30 years. I never had a bite, a serious bite. I was never stung. But I know other people who have kept other animals, and dolphins, sorry, sidetracked. Other people are not so lucky. And yes, dolphins can be scary. Killer whales can be scary. Dolphins are not necessarily sweet animals. They can be mean. There are people who there are people who have been bit by snakes. There have been people who have been attacked by elephants, had fingers bitten off by zebra. Um, there was a lady that was killer whales have unalived people. Although there's never been a record of them doing so in the wild, which is incredible to think about. Um, but animals can have personality. Animals can have bad days. You just don't want that animal's bad day to be at your expense. You don't want your life to be taken by an animal on its bad day. And I think that's the bottom line. And then you have to look at how many times have humans accidentally or on purpose killed a dolphin. No, no, dolphins are known to antagonize other animals. So are killer whales. Guys, we're going. Um, I have stuff on my channel about them. There's lots of websites. Yeah, that too. Um, I'm only going to be on for maybe another couple minutes. I have to eat. You don't even want to know what my breakfast was. But yeah, I need to eat and all of that fun stuff, so yeah, it was a glass of cranberry juice and a bowl of Cheez-Its. Yes, I said it. I said it. And I'm not sorry about it. I just need to eat better. That's all. Anyway, guys, thanks for coming in. It is much appreciated. Um, let's see. This will change. I know it will. It always does. We have had 7 views. That number always goes up. Thank you for coming in. You guys are awesome. I am going to make a little closing thing for the lives, but for now, just be kind, respect other people, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.